Today we are talking about the new opportunities that emerge when we have a shifting market. Hi, I'm Karyn Kochanowski with RE/MAX Terrasol. I am the Director of Training and New Business Development. I am here with Leo Betancourt, who is the broker owner of RE/MAX Terrasol. He's been in the business through many market shifts, nearly 20 years of owning his own brokerage. And so we're going to sit down today and talk about what kind of opportunities really emerge for agents when we have a shifting market. So, Leo, thank you for being here.
You bet.
We really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it. Looking forward to a really great discussion. So now let's go back here for a minute. Every market really presents different challenges, right? And if we're really honest with ourselves, I think that we will notice that the last market that we were in was challenging as well, right? Working with buyers, working with them over months, and really having a hard time positioning ourselves as that expert buyer's agent when they were losing out on multiple offers. So now that the market has shifted, let's talk about some of the opportunities that the agents can take as we kind of move to a more normal or more of a buyer's market. So step me through what you see as new opportunities for agents.
I've noticed in the last couple of years, especially when COVID had hit, is that we had agents that were actually moving out of the area. They got tired of the fluctuation of the market, the uncertainty. I think a lot of it because of COVID, obviously, we all got kind of scared in that market.
How does an agent kind of take advantage of that to help them grow their business? I mean, what do you see as the opportunity?
Well, if you've been a type of agent who've worked on relationships, right? You can't just at the ninth hour come in and say, "Oh, I want to buy your business." Well, you didn't spend the time working on building that relationship just like you would with the consumer. So when an agent's getting out of the market and you've already established a great relationship with that individual, now you can go ahead and purchase that book of business, right? So those agents that are moving out of the area, for the most part, won't be able to service their clients here locally. So they'll be looking to tie themselves into someone locally who's still here, give those opportunities. It creates an immediate cash flow for that agent who purchased the business and still gives revenue to the person who's departing.
And I know you've helped agents in our office with exactly what you're saying and really being able to help transition an agent that is retiring their book of business to this newer agent and really find a lot of success with it. So that's fantastic. That's a great opportunity. Along with a shifting market, there's also challenges that come, right? Where we've been used to sort of this up market for, nearly 12 or 13 years of an up market. So it's been a while since we've seen some challenges. So what do you see as how agents need to really position themselves today to get ahead of this new market that's emerging?
Well, we're kind of going into an unknown where it's not an unknown. We've been in here before, but the rates are going up. Buyers are going to be a little hesitant to make a move. You're going to have a lot of the naysayers that are out there. You as an agent need to make sure you keep the conversation relevant to what's going on in the economy and satisfying the consumer as to what they're, the message that they want to hear.
Do you see that, the skill set that an agent has and worked in the last 10 years is going to have to shift a little bit now?
We had recovered from the recession, was very dramatic. We're not going to see something like that during this time around, but you do need to keep the conversations relevant to what's going on today and keep your consumers head in the game. Because otherwise, if you just go along with the naysayers that are out there, the sky's falling, you're not doing any transactions. Your clients aren't selling, they're not buying because you're appeasing them and feeding into this media hype of what's going on. So you always got to have that positive spin on the economy, no matter what it is. It's like you've got a knife in your back, but it looks great on you. You're doing, you wear it really well, So whatever that is, you've got to find the right conversation to still keep people moving forward, either purchasing or selling. So whatever that is. So keep your eye on the prize with regards to the consumer and what it is that they're trying to achieve. Focus on that, make that your primary focus, and everything else will go by the wayside.
So really more of a consultative approach to working with both buyers and sellers, because is what I'm hearing you say. And so when you talked about kind of not coming to a conversation as doom and gloom, but because I do believe that people want to be led, they want to be guided, and they need the information and the data and to be educated about what's going on in the market so that they can make good decisions for themselves and their families. And so how much do you believe that new skills need to be, if you've been in the business a while, maybe you need to dust off some of those consultative skills that you haven't had to use in a while? Which is, skill development important during a shifting market?
Well, that's single most important thing. Whether you're in a great market or in a bad market, you still got to brush up on your skills and getting back down to the basics. Today, It's all about the basics, which have always worked in our entire industry for, as long as it's been around. Getting down to making those phone calls, sending out your note cards, sending out your newsletters, sending out a text, acknowledging anniversaries, birthdays, those kinds of things. Anniversaries of when they purchased their property. Agents think that, just because you sold their house 2 years ago, that the consumer's done, you're not going to hear from them for 5 to 10 years. When in reality, you never know what they're going through in their life at that moment, right? They could be going through a divorce, loss of job, they've got to now sell. So don't think that just because you sold their property a couple years ago, you got to stop engaging with them. Still interact consistently. I had a client who I'd gotten into a property a couple years ago who reached out to me because now they're looking at potentially selling. But that's because I still send out my note cards, my newsletters, magazines.
So being top of mind is more important than ever.
Absolutely.
Especially because you want to position yourself as that person that they are reminded of when they have that real estate need, right?
This goes back to the Buffini basics, which is, your referral system. So if you're constantly reaching out to them, sending out their, I've got clients I've had for 24 years, I've never spoken to, never been on social media with them. We don't text, we don't engage regularly, but I still send out my note cards, and out of nowhere, several of them have reached out and said, hey, I'm looking to buy or sell, and then we help facilitate that.
Right.
But it's all the Buffini system.
Okay.
It's the referral net.
That's fantastic. What about the skill development that you give to the agents at Remax Terrasol? What types of skills are you focused on with the training, with the speakers that you have come in? What's your goal for the agent? What's most important to you?
Making sure that they have the tools and the resources to have the right conversation. Obviously keeping up to date with the market, the legalities of everything that's going on. The COVID type situation, staying relevant with what's going on in the marketplace and how that's going to affect you. And really, it's all about having those important conversations. Because at the end of the day, you're just helping your clients achieve their goal, not your goal. It's theirs.
Right.
So, if you keep those conversations relevant to that matter, that'll always be the single most important thing that you can have with them. You could always try to sell somebody on something, and that might work some of the time, but it doesn't work.
Right. I always say in some of my classes, raise your hand if you like being sold.
Yeah.
Right. And
yeah.
nobody likes being sold.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the car. When you walk into the car lot, nobody wants to have the car salesman walk right up to you and say, "What payment are you looking for?" It's like, I hate that. So.
Right.